Bones, for those of you guys who don't know, is a good friend of mine. I actually often spend some time prepping with Bones. I consider him to be one of the best players in the game. And he's got a pretty scary lineup for me. He's got TF Swain and War Mothers. I can actually pull up his specific versions, and I will now. War Mothers, obviously, just one of the best decks in the game. Kind of crazy. Only 2 people brought it to this tournament. Really insane. And TF Swain, which is a meta call. It's good into my lineup. It's an alright deck. It's definitely solid. Like I could have. It's one of those like competitive style decks that you can bring. It depends on what you expect the field to be. We are in double elimination. What double elimination means is that we've won every match so far. We've 2-0. Oh yeah, we 2-1 real key. We won all 3 of our matches so far, which means we're in the winners bracket and Bones is in the losers bracket. We have 2 series to try to beat Bones. Like we're gonna do 1 BO3, and then if I lose that, we're still gonna do another BO3. Because in double elimination, every player always gets like 1 free loss before they're out, and I haven't had my loss yet. So we might be playing Bones twice back to back. It's a little rough, but I think we can definitely get there. So he's first playing Swain TF. I'll show the version here. This is Bones' Swain TF version, just if you want to keep tracking card for card alongside me. He's running 2 Fervor, 1 Guillotine, 2 Salvage. No Make It Rain since it got nerfed, 2 Rex. Pretty standard. This is like Swain TF. He's replaced Codger in just for a little bit more early optionality, right? We do just want to be keeping like bulky units, trying to outvalue him here. I think I just keep Trapper and Bjerg actually. I don't really value Archer too much here. Rhymefang Wolf isn't great. I mean, Archer can be good into like the Swain development turns. It's really not bad. I could see that, but I think I shouldn't really have that much of an issue with those. So we'll do this. Ashe is not great in this matchup. And we do have Sentry. Sentry is a card I've complained about being in my deck. In some matchups, it's terrible. This is a matchup where Sentry is really great. Because the way we're playing this matchup is pretty much going to be trying to outgrind. It's a little bit flexible. But we do want to try to answer his threats if possible. Ideally, we'd be able to Culling Strike Leviathan with either a Flash Freeze or maybe a Troll Chant. So, I'd like to be able to Culling Strike Leviathan. Huh. Burning 1 mana here doesn't really do much. Yeah, I'm just attacking here, sure. Why not? Could definitely have skipped the attack. Deckhand is definitely in the range.
Keep up, keep up.
Burning 1 mana could have definitely been proper, but I do have to value face damage a little bit here. And I'm not insanely worried about this keg. The keg is pretty much fine. We can Bjerg a little bit later. I want to play the Trapper for now, with the option to Bjerg afterwards. The Zap is pretty annoying. I think, for the most part, the thing about this match is going to be that his Swain TF deck does pretty well into both of my decks. I have better odds at beating the War Mothers one. I'm doing very well against War Mothers so far, but at the end of the day, War Mothers is a really powerful deck. I've basically made sure both of these decks can go toe-to-toe with War Mothers, which is at least around even, but at the end of the day, War Mothers is a really powerful deck. You can only do so much. Yeah, I mean, being able to eat the keg for free would actually be a really big deal. Stopping a TF from coming down for value would be huge. I think I do feel valued into open attacking here, actually. I think it's kind of a bait to try to like develop more into attacks. I mostly want to lower his amount of value while threatening just a lot of blockers. I don't have a great answer to Leviathan in this hand, though. That's the only thing. Interesting. I mean, the game is won or lost by just like a lot of these little exchanges. I might need to Troll Chant this. My guy would be alive at 2. And it's not like a good flock for him. Not really getting too much of a better Troll Chant. I am going to want to get 2 draws off of Assessor here. I could do something like Yeti and Ash this turn, and then open Assessor next turn or something like that. What's his hand range right here? What are you thinking about, man? What are you thinking about? Second Fervor, Flock, Savage. It's gotta be spells. We have to play around Sentry a little bit. The fact that we don't have a Culling Strike in this hand is a little worrisome. Because I really just want to be able to sort of outvalue their late game by just killing their Rex and just drawing continually in this matchup. Man, I'm so sad Real Key didn't win against Bones. I would have had a really easy set against Real Key, just based on the lineups. Brain Processed Troll Chant as Iron. He does need to get a bit of damage on my Yeti.
Will no one listen? Poor man's gone mad.
Bjerg there might make it hard to get like the triple draw with Assessor that I want. Overall, this matchup just, like, especially hands like this, can often just come down to establishing mid-game beef.
Master,
I don't know. I might have needed to save Troll Chant to keep like an Enraged Yeti out of Flock range. Could have possibly been more necessary.
It can't be.
Like, if he has Keg TF here, I'm pretty screwed. Pretty screwed. I'm in the plunder, never matters here. I'm always just letting this through. I don't want to let him flock twice for value. Ash will actually sometimes level up here. I do want to get a good Assessor. I think I just play the Yeti here. That allows me the flexibility of deciding whether I play Ash or Assessor. Ooh, looks like it could be deckhand TF here. Nasty. The question is, would he feel pressured into TFing now? If that's his option. The fact that he kegged there makes TF, I think, pretty unlikely. I don't think I've eliminated it from his range. He actually, oddly enough, he can't deal a lot of 1 damage follow-up pings. Like, if I play Ash now, she's reasonably safe. And he'd have a little too good of a time burning my mana. If it's TF, that means it's not Flock. Yeah, TF really doesn't punish this. Ash now feels good. Because if he plays TF here, then I actually get to triple draw off of Assessor, which is a really big deal.
I'm always up for a round or two. Something for all of you.
Obviously, all of his flocks in the world are enabled here. But I don't think I can really do much about that. Not having Culling is bad. Culling Strike is a big way we win this matchup. A really big way we win this matchup. But the nice thing is about this board state, and this is what I was saying. The thing about Swain TF is that without Make It Rain, they have a harder time punishing this 1 health stat line. Like, maybe my Ash will die, but he'll have to at least commit more value into it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, he could have another red card, but, I mean, he'd need to get the TF off his board first.
Only the finest serve.
And this Assessor is cute because, well, I was going to say it gives us decent odds of... So many draws gives us decent odds of drawing Culling Strike, but we didn't hit it anyway. I don't think we could have gone for, like, a cheeky Wolf. Like, Wolf's pretty vulnerable here. Even with Troll Chant, Wolf's really vulnerable. And I guess I'm going to have to favor this full attack here. If he blocks with TF and then has, like, a second TF, that could be really nasty. I can't not attack here, though. Sorry, I'm not talking that much this game. Unlike the others, I've been trying to explain my processes a lot more all day, but A, I'm extra concentrating this time, but B, I'm also I've doing this all day, so I'm a little tired. He's trading off his TF. A second TF would be really nasty. He still can't kill the Ash though if it is second TF. I think I'm fairly happy using Troll Chant here. The thing is, I don't know if this Troll Chant really gets better. Because I don't have Culling Strike to... Normally you, like, troll into Culling. The fact that this will force out an answer from him feels relevant enough. But yeah, second TF's pretty nasty here. I mean, I have a board full of 1 health. I guess if it was second TF, his Spiderling would go into Trifarian Assessor instead of the Bjerg, maybe? So maybe he kind of can't have second TF. This is where this deck losing Make It Rain is such a big deal. Like, Make It Rain has been such a lethal threat this entire game, but now that's 3 mana, it's like really hard for that deck to run it. He's not running the Death Lotus version. There are actually some players that run Death Lotus in this deck, which I actually kind of like. I'm down with it. Okay. But if he doesn't have TF, then this 3-1 Bjerg that he left alive actually will be getting me value, which is a pretty big deal. I might need to literally freeze the zap. I get the troll chant. Saving the troll chant does allow me to troll chant the zap, because I kind of can't let him plunder. That troll chant there might have been a little weak. That might have had to have been a misplay. Because having to literally freeze the zap feels terrible. And I'd also need to trade on the rest of my board. But I guess the board is kind of doomed anyway. I literally can't let the Rex plunder. I literally cannot let the Rex plunder, I think. And the fact that he's solo attacking with Zap too makes the Rex plunder just that much more likely. So yeah, the fact that I used the Troll Chant before basically forced my own Flash Freeze there. And that's bad. Flash Freeze is, I think, a valuable resource that I can't really be losing. Yeah, I'm supposed to use Troll Chant for Zap. But I simply can't let him Rex, of course. He might not actually have a good way to save his Swain from Rhymefang. Now that I've forced out his Fervor, he might really be lacking that. But if I'm developing into the next turn anyway, I think I just need to keep outvaluing him. I do want to draw more cards so I can hit the culling. Killing the Swain is such a big deal. If I let him play Sentry, it's a lot harder to kill the Swain. Sentry's in his range. Wow, it's a bit of a commitment to like play Rhymefang Wolf and then open attack with Harsh Winds. It's a big commitment. Next turn I could play Archer.
Our strength is yours.
I don't know. I might have no choice but to pass there. It's like I might be able to get him off of playing Leviathan, but unless I have a very specific hand, I can't counter it anyway. I think I had to hope he didn't have Leviathan there, which feels really bad. And now I have to try to kill Leviathan, basically. But if he has Arachnoid Sentry, it's impossible to kill Leviathan, no matter what I do. The Harsh Winds is also not doing much here. I probably have to open Icefield Archer, and he should always pass. I have to hope he doesn't have Arachnoid Sentry. I can't really win against an Arachnoid Sentry. Feels bad. But yeah, this is a rough matchup. Sentry's in his range. The fact that we didn't draw Culling Strike, like, we might not have been able to win no matter what we did. But the Troll Chant when we did was wrong. Could have made a difference, for sure. Yeah, I don't really see this as winnable at all. And Culling blows his deck apart so hard. It's possible I needed to not play the Hearthguard. I mean, there's a decent chance, like, if he has Leviathan... If I am not mana efficient, though, then I'm not really punishing hands that don't have Leviathan, which I think is just more vulnerable, honestly. Yeah, this shouldn't be winnable. I can't see a hand range we win here. I actually can't see a single one. Like, he doesn't even need a hand to win here.
After the battle,
No culling, PP hands.
Gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, there's no off the top here. Okay, game 1 down. Unfavorable, but, I mean, that was the weak matchup. That's the one, you know, that we kind of needed to get out of the way anyway. Yeah, Swain TF is a big vulnerability for my double lineup. That was one thing I didn't really consider. I actually didn't really expect anyone to bring Swain TF. If I thought about it more, I could have assumed Bones would have brought Swain TF. And, you know, Bones obviously being a very good player, there was a call for Bones to be like met in the finals or earlier. I do think that I did kind of forget about Swain TF a little bit, just because Bones is in this tournament and just because he loves Swain TF. If it was anyone else, I wouldn't really care about the odds of someone bringing Swain TF. It's also it's a matchup that I didn't really prep that much. The Wolf is an important like potential bailout. We could have done like a weird open attack with Wolf, but that would have been just like, I mean, we can only kill Swain and not Leviathan if we do that anyway. So Sentry is interesting in this matchup. I'm not sure if I can actually keep it, just because his deck has a way of just kind of ignoring it. I'll show his version. So this is Bones' pretty classic War Mother's version. He's running one Passage Unearned for the mirror, which is actually something people are doing. It's like, it's a hilarious, or you know, better against Weeb Mothers. But yeah, pretty standard version. 2 Wadclaw, 2 Hearthguard. I think Avaro's and Sentry is actually just not a power card in this matchup. It's kind of sad, but the thing is his deck will never really kill my Sentry and also not really care. So even though it's like a 2-mana play and even though I like keeping early plays, it just feels a little too hard here. It doesn't put enough pressure to matter. Banking my mana in this matchup doesn't even feel bad if I draw a power card like Culling Strike, and I really need to be drawing Trappers too. Weird one. Wow. Yeah, I mean, both of us burning mana here doesn't feel good. His play has a hard time actually being like Catalyst. If I play Rimefang Wolf, there's a chance I actually regret it. I can't really play Ash into the next turn, can I? Honestly, why the heck not? If he's not spending his mana, we could be good. The fact of the matter is, like, I think I have to play the Wolf, just because we have an answer to the Weirding Stones anyway. Like, if we're turning on Weirding Stones by doing this, I can't play Wolf here. Oh, he's got double ping. Vile Horror, maybe he thought about there. Because he's running 3 Unspeakable Horror and 3 Vile Feast. No Whale, no Grasp. I like his version. Might be a little heavy on the pings, potentially. He's running 1 Ruination, which is a bit of a weakness. Potentially. I don't know if I love 2 Ruination over 1, but I do think it's actually kind of an important threat. Especially in an open deck list, the fact that I can see it's only 1 does mean I can mathematically just kind of like ignore it. And I think I'm literally always playing the Ash here. I see no weird option. I'm pretty good against most things. Like, this is often an Avalanche. Avalanche is a little dicey, because it means, like, either Wolf dies or I give up, you know, the Ash. Which I can't really do. And this is where Ash feels a little bad. I think the early poke damage is pretty important here. There is a consideration. There is a weird consideration that I can't play Ash at all there. This hand felt really awkward. I wish I didn't have to play Ash there. I so wish I didn't have to play Ash there. Oh, he just up and trundles. Wow, okay. If I tank that, that allows me to Hearthguard now, and then I open with Ash into the culling. That's gotta be better. Yeah, I mean, taking 4 never feels great, but having like the earlier Hearthguard, I think matters a lot into like an open attack where, you know, I mean, I can threaten culling afterwards. I guess the Trundle will still get to block though, which is kind of sad. Wow, it's kind of interesting. I think I am actually not supposed to play Hearthguard here. Tanking the damage actually matters. It's actually something I would really prefer not to do. And it's somewhat of a rare opportunity to Archer into culling. But I can develop into the culling next turn. Yeah, I think this is a bit better. Because I can't play both if I could play both Hearthguards by playing 1 now, then I would. But I won't have, like, I don't have 7 mana next turn, so I can't play Hearthguard. So I kind of have to just open there. Honestly, Cullings never feel bad in this matchup. He's got 7 mana. Frostbite's really not doing too much here. Second Avalanche does not do very much if my play is Hearthguard. His play could be Wildclaw, but the Ash Frostbite actually kind of fucks Wildclaw, which feels great. I guess I'm always developing into this.
Many tribes
I can't pass, and open attacking has to be worse than developing here, so developing looks good. Ash does feel nice into the Wild Claw here. Vengeance on the Ash? Potentially Vengeance on the Hearthguard, depending on his hand range. Or that was a second Avalanche. I'd be pretty fine if it was a second Avalanche here. That's kind of cute. I like that. I mean, it does make the Ash feel kind of bad about attacking, but I don't think I can avoid attacking with this Ash either. I mean, we are just kind of like going wide with Chonkers. We're getting only very minor damage in. The Ash is kind of important against stuff like Wild Claw. Like, he's probably about to just play a Hearthguard or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this was kind of an awkward hand. I don't think this deck is built to be War Mothers as well as it should be. Like, the fact that I think I was forced into playing Ash on 4 felt really bad. I actually don't think I could have slow played the Ash. So now that he's catalysted, there's a good chance I have to take this attack here. He's going to 8 mana next turn, which means we have to deal with Ruination the turn after. I will have to threaten an open attack. I can play Hearthguard plus Glory Seeker. He can't really block both without giving up a potential anti-Ash threat. I think I skipped the attack with Ash here, actually. I think I just do these two now. But he runs so many of the 2 mana pings. Yeah, I think this Ash Nox deck, unfortunately, might be the end of us here. I think this, as much as I like the Fiora Shen deck, this version feels a little bit more vulnerable to a lot of things. Interesting. So at 8 mana, I mean, you expect these to sometimes be like an Alpha Wild Claw. If I play Hearthguard, I can no longer do like Flash Culling, but I don't think I would take the Flash Culling there anyway.
We fight for one Freljord.
You could absolutely have Trundle here. Avalanche. Avalanche is alright. Sure. I'm fine with that. It makes it pretty difficult for him to actually have something like third Avalanche. I don't think Avalanche is a particularly scary hand state, all things considered. It's not one of the frightening ones. So I'm reasonably happy not giving it too much respect. He's running 1 Ruination, which does make me want to develop into most attacks. But unfortunately for me, I don't have a good developmental hand here. Well, Wolf is kind of adorable. Yeah, I'm kind of liking Wolf here. I don't think I have a good enough clock on this game if I'm open attacking. I think I basically have to develop deeper. If I play the Glory Seeker first, his likely action will just be to pass. He could play like War Mothers possibly, but I don't want to show my Wolf until the second action. I'm getting swept here by a lot of like, you know, stuff like that. You know, if he did draw the 1 of Ruination. But I don't think I can play around it at this point, which is pretty sad. I just don't have quite enough damage if I do it like that. Man. I mean, he's got... I'm on a 3-card hand and he's got so much health. He's kind of trolling if he is actually sitting on a Ruination here. I play the Wolf here. I have to. And if he didn't play War Mothers before, he can't play it now. So I can sort of threaten lethal. Reasonably speaking, obviously, we're not actually lethaling here. This is gonna force out a freeze. I could just force out a 1 mana ping. As adorable as passing would be here, it's a complete troll play. I mean, I do have to deal the damage. So it's Harsh Winds over War Mothers here. And that's not Harsh Winds. Is that Harsh Winds? It could be that one mana ping. 1 mana ping would be a little scary here just because it leaves him with enough mana to actually do something threatening to our board. My hand is interesting. In conjunction with a wolf, it's a cute hand that can actually get some places. I don't hate this hand. It's kind of funny how everyone was expecting a lot more War Mothers and Feel the Rush. Like, he's literally running Passage Unearned, which is a good card if the field is so, you know, there's so much Feel the Rush, but there really wasn't much of that going on. I mean, his hand has got to be really bad if he's Vengeancing there. That feels phenomenal for me. I don't know. There might have been a call to literally Killing Strike that thing to try to push lethal here. But I think against hands like this, I should have lethal next turn anyway, honestly. Yikes. Man, if only I was Feel a Rush. My open attack is looking pretty good here. Pretty alright. And I mean, I'm forced into open attacking this time. Am I actually? It's actually so easy that his hands is Harsh Wind's Flash Freeze. Harsh Wind's Flash Freeze is actually such a common hand. But I still have lethal against it. Yeah, I guess I have to open attack here.
Glory, face me.
I mean, it's basically only Ruination that punishes this. So how does he survive this? Troll Chant? He's not running Troll Chant in his version. Weird. No, Atrocity doesn't give him enough mana. Yeah, without 12 mana, he can't survive this. He would need double Harsh Winds or Harsh Winds double Flash Freeze. So he had a Bricked hand. Feels good. We're 1-1 in Series 1. This is the first final. If I lose this series, I still have a second series against Bones. And this is a bit more of a favored matchup. It's actually, honestly, I don't even know if that's true. Who knows? I didn't really test these matchups that thoroughly. And I'm on my cozy deck. I got the Ash version out, and now we're just on this deck, which feels great. Honestly, I kind of want to kick Deny out of this hand. I think I only need Denies very slowly in this matchup. It's a profoundly bad answer to Avalanche because I'm not going to have 4 mana for it anyway. The fact that I have 3 Denies and River Shapers drawing me into them has to make Deny find here. I need to find a 1-drop. I think Protector has to be a weak point. I want to win off of effectively the mid-range game plan. Shen is alright in this matchup. It feels a lot worse with them having access to Hearthguard. I do think I want the ability to go wide. Looks like a full mulligan. I could also potentially keep Protector. I think it's a full mulligan. Full mulligans are a little monka. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. I can work with this. I can absolutely work with this. The River Shaper draw there was sick. Very, very sick. I love that in this kind of hands. We have, like, just the one way to protect him that we need. So he thought about maybe pinging that. He was playing around Sharpsight by not pinging it, basically. Ooh. That's a draw. Wow. A little nuts. Avalanche does not threaten me because I have Resolve. And he will kill his own Weirding Stones if he avalanches. And his pings don't do anything if he avalanches. So I play the River Shaper now. And then I think I play the Fiora next. So that if he avalanches, then I Resolve and kill the Weirding Stones. If he does nothing, I could maybe try to get some Sweet Pursuit. If I Shen instead, I don't have the ability to kill the Warding Stones if it's an avalanche, which actually matters. I think killing this Warding Stones is a big deal. If I don't attack now, though, if he plays Trundle, I do lose my ability to actually attack with River Shaper while keeping it alive, which is a very scary thing. God, what if is it super crazy to like repost attack this? Killing the Weirding Stones is such a big deal. Oh God, I think that has to be a little too crazy. Honestly, I think I'm good against any non-Trundle hands. I feel good about open attacking this. I feel great about open attacking this. The problem with, okay, so like if I could save repost for the Trundle, then it might be okay. But I'm 1 mana short. I can't play Fiora and still have enough mana for repost. And that kind of fucks me a little. I don't know. This is a weird matchup. I didn't play this enough. I feel good in this position, but yeah, Trundle is a bad card to see here for sure. I mean, it always is. If I play Fiora now, I bank full. Banking full gives me 5+3, which gives me repost plus vengeance, which is actually, or sorry, repost plus deny, which actually matters. If he attacks and I repost and he vengeances, I have to deny. So I might have to play Fiora instead of Shen here, just for that extra point of mana.
They would fall by my blade.
I don't think this pursuit is good. I think it's really trolly. I have to deal with the Trundle. Dealing with the Trundle is top 1 priority. If I can deal with the Trundle, then pursuit will just win me the game. And the fact that I have reposts gives me that ability in a really powerful way. The 1 deny is perfect in his hands. Resolve gives me an amazing option. I love having Resolve here. I'm at 8 mana, he's at 9. What is his range? The one awkward thing here is like, the freezes do kind of hurt this matchup. So he plays a second Stones. Now that puts him to 6 mana. So if I play Shen, I still keep repost up. And if he attacks with Trundle and I repost Fiora, he's not running the Troll Chant version, which means he can ping the shield off, but his Trundle will die. So his Trundle is not safe to attack here, which means I guess I'm playing Shen no matter what. Unless I want this turn to be the Relentless Pursuit turn. I need to kill the Trundle. I can't do Pursuit yet. I have to do Pursuit on my next turn. I can't do it yet. It's too early. Next turn. Next turn we Pursuit. Because Pursuit's just pointless unless I've killed the Trundle. And if I was going to Pursuit repost, that would have been my entire mana pool this turn. And that's risky when he has mana open. It's like he could just flash freeze and then I'm pretty screwed. It's a nice non-committal way of potentially popping Resolve. You know, funnily enough, I actually might just take this Resolve. His Trundle gets the ability to attack this turn if I Resolve here, because I won't have repost anymore. So I am taking a bit of damage. But then I can maybe Pursuit and like blow him out of the water. He would need Flash Freeze. I could actually pursue this turn now, maybe. Depending on what he does. Yeah, that Resolve wasn't really high value, but because of his deck and because I'm open attacking here, I think I use it there because I don't think it gets higher value than that. I can't tap under the deny mana point. That is strictly impossible. So I mean, it seems like I go in to try to kill the Trundle with an open attack with repost. I'm threatening a second trick. We're good against Vengeance because we have deny. We're not good against Flash Freeze, which is the only problem. And like Flash Freeze or Harsh Winds is pretty likely. Yeah, those cards are kind of carrying him here. I think I actually still have to do this. Honestly. And yeah, this is why the Frostbite version of SI Control is so much better than versions that run stuff like Whale instead. Like, Frostbites are so good. They're nuts. Wow. So his Trundle's actually going down here. He might have a second Trundle to be doing that. Honestly, I don't think I even mind that. I have a Pursuit this turn if I want it. Wow. Yeah, that's huge. So he like pillars into second Trundle and then has another pillar up as well. I mean, I've got Pursuit mana this round, but he can't play deeper here. I can't play War Chefs because then he can Ruination me. And that Ruination actually would be good enough, which is sad. I probably have to pass. If I Pursuit... I want to see what he does first. Depending on how he spends his mana, we could maybe punish it. There's not really a hurry to Pursue right now. But I can't tap under Deny. I can't play War Chefs until he taps under Ruination. Even as a 1-of in that spot, it's just not worth the odds. I mean, with Deny in hand, I'm just safe from everything, really. His hand was bad. He needs Everose and Hearthguard and Wild Claw to be really great in this matchup. I guess I just War Chefs now. Honestly. Like, I do just want to play for maximum value. I can't Pursuit yet. It's just not high enough. I need to Pursuit with Cithria. That'll end the game. And drawing the second resolve feels good here, too. Well, that's no good. Come on, man. That's never good. PP hands, huh? So, I mean, I can Cithria into open attack and then threaten the Pursuit next turn. And that should be really nuts. Cithria also puts him to 1 blocker. Yeah, I mean, this is the easiest play of my life. Because I had to use that Deny, I lose the ability to develop into him. Just because of the unique situation here, I will respect enough that 1 of Ruination, I think. Like, I don't need to take risks in this position. So now, the Cithria is the only one that can get blocked. Everything else is going to have Fearsome and can't get blocked. The best thing to buff is probably either River Shaper or Tracker. Buff the attack with War Chefs. He kind of might want to like Harsh Wind's River Shaper already, so I think I just buff Tracker. And I guess Cithria just drags the Ice Pillar. Ooh, I could drag the Ice Pillar with something else actually. Ah, that's kind of dumb. We're pushing less damage if we do that. That can't really be right. Just to kill a chump blocker, that doesn't matter. The Fearsome keywords are worth a lot here. So he needs the Harsh Winds here. Like, he needs to stop the Pursuit from getting value. The cute thing is, because I have War Chefs, this will draw me a card off the Pursuit, by the way. Which is really adorable. Like, that's very cute. Yeah, this literally has to be the Pursuit turn. There's no way around that. We have to play around another Avalanche, maybe. No, that doesn't do anything here, so yeah, Cithria is good. I have enough mana for... United Pursuit. I do need to draw the card. Yeah, I mean, I just War Chefs into Pursuit, really. Let me just double check. Not a ton that mega punishes this, really. So Cithria is the only one that can get blocked. Again. This War Chefs will buff that one. I want my board to be as lean as possible, right? So, I mean, we're looking pretty good here. Oh yeah, I forgot Shen... Wait, Shen's Barrier gives damage. What am I doing?
It must be done.
I can't give more damage to the River Shaper. I want to give the damage to this. Wait, that doesn't give damage. I'm not getting more barriers. Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, I agree, Bones. Alright, I'm just, like, making sure. I know it's, like... It's anticlimactic, because, like, from his perspective, the game is over, and from my perspective, the game is, like, 99% over. But you still, like... You can't afford to... You know, I obviously can't. I have to maximize my odds there. Like, as much as humanly possible. Was that 2-0? Or 2-1? Okay, so we won the tournament. Nice. Little Monka for a second there, but we didn't even lose our safety net. We went undefeated, which is pretty nice. It's double elim, so we could have lost that game and still we would have had another shot at beating Bones. That's nice. Overall, I mean, my thoughts are basically reiterated in everything I've been saying all day. This deck I think bringing Nox Freljord mid-range was a good call. I think this deck is poorly built, which I think I think all versions of Ashe Nox are actually poorly built right now. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. I think this deck was great. This deck carried me so hard. I love the idea behind this deck. I've talked about it like at length all day, but this deck actually feels like the new shit. Like this is really good.